Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Ding 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 ding. We're back. That was the dinner bell. The Tinkercad dinner bell, guys. We are back already. Have we been doing daily videos? I don't even know. I feel like it. This is awesome. Guys, we are going to do a super simple beginner project because this is actually something I have to make in real life, not fake life. And this is something I think almost anybody could use because you can make your own version of it. We're just going to make an organizer, basically. And this also coincides with a request from a member or a suggestion. They were saying like a office desk organizer. So organizers are probably one of the simplest things you could possibly make in Tinkercad. Obviously, if you were making one that had pull-out drawers and stuff like that, that would be a lot harder. But we're going to do this super simple way to make them so we can also have this as like a beginner first-time user video. Because I have a couple messages from people that just started using Tinkercad. So let's jump right in and let's show these very, very new people how easy you can make an organizer with Tinkercad. First, just go to tinkercad.com and just sign in with Google or however you want. It's a free program. You don't have to download it. It's just online. And let's go back to, this is the home, my designs. There we go. There's the home page. So you'll be brought to this. And we're going to go to the create button on the right over here. Boop, boop. And 3D design. See, we have a couple options here. We're going to go with 3D design. That's what we always do. And this is our happy place. This is our little workstation. So we can use these shapes over here to create our 3D objects, our models, and then print them out. So by organizer, let me quick explain how easy this can be. So see, let's grab a shape. I don't know. I might even use a super simple shape like this. So I just set the shape down, and you can rotate it with these little black arrows you'll see here. You can rotate it the other way also. See, if you stay inside this blue circle, it'll like snap grid. See how my mouse cursor is inside the blue circle? So it's snap gridding to these popular useful angles. If you go outside of the blue circle, look, it's free flowing one degree at a time. But if you want it to just get right, if you're just trying to set it up or something, you want to stay inside the blue circle. So there we go. We can hold shift down to stretch out our shapes with these little white squares on the corners, or this one. I'm holding shift because it's actually making the shape, it's keeping the shape to scale as it's making it bigger and smaller. Because look, if I'm not holding shift, you can stretch it, but it's not staying to scale, see? Which you definitely can use a lot of the time also. So actually, I am going to stretch this out a little bit. I want it more at an angle like this. Is this how I want I don't know. I'm just trying to give you a very quick example of how easy it is to make an organizer like this. So look, now that we have our shape, let's pretend this is a big hunk of plastic sitting on our desk, We can even make it bigger. Okay, here's a big chunk. We might not need this big long back part. We can cut that off if we want. But we might want a big old angle like this because I have a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be organizing my charcoal drawing stuff. So charcoal pencils and shaders and erasers and weird tools. Charcoal drawing has a lot of different weird stuff because that's what I've been doing lately is some drawing. So basically pick a shape. It could be any shape really. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use cutouts, I call them, but holes to cut basically holes. So let's say I want to make some pencil holes in here. I'm going to I pulled down one of these cutout cylinders, which you can also, here, let me delete it. You can also just use solid shapes and turn them into a hole. So watch this. Let's pretend we're making a pencil here. So my pencils are 7 millimeters. I'm going to make them a little bigger. So look, I can click on one of these white squares and I can even type in the measurements here. So I'm going to do 8 millimeters by 8 because we're going to be cutting holes in our green triangle. And we want the pencils to fit, so it's always better to, you want to cut the holes a little bit bigger, okay? So see, we have a big old fat pencil, so let's cut some holes into our organizer. This might not be our keeper organizer. I just wanted to show how easy this is. Right now, it's sitting all the way on the work plane, see? So we'd be cutting holes all the way through. Because look, we can hit this hole button right here. And see, we just turned it to a cutout. I call them cutouts because we're going to be cutting holes in here. So let's raise it up a little bit. So you can hold Control and then use up arrow. See, it's going up a millimeter at a time. I can just go up a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. As long as it doesn't fall through the bottom, I don't know. It's going to be on a desk anyway. So watch, we can just set this where we want. Let's say we want a row of pencils over here. Which I do. I want a row of pencils all along the top. Okay? So, yeah, this will be fine. So now that we have one, we don't have to redo that whole thing again. All we have to do is click on it. So it's highlighted with blue, which it is. And we have a duplicate button here. Actually, it's duplicate and repeat. Because watch what will happen. Let's hit duplicate. Slide it over with the arrow keys. Just a little. I want to fit a lot of pencils. How about right there? Now watch. As long as we don't click off of this, we can keep hitting that duplicate button and it'll repeat that same action. Ready? Boop. See? Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, I just had an idea. Oh, I had an idea. Watch this. We could do this also. So see, since we're so deep in here of plastic, like this is the pencils are going to stick way down in here, right? Why don't we, well, first I'm going to turn the big green triangle base. Let's just call it the base. I'm going to turn it transparent by hitting T. Then we're going to be able to see inside of it. See? And you can hit T to go back. So T for transparent. So see how far the pencils are going to be sticking down in there? Let's raise this row up actually. So I'm going to select all of them and you can select multiple objects by, look, I'm just holding down the left mouse button and dragging the red square. Anything that's just barely touching in this red square or rectangle is going to get selected. The other option to select multiple things is hold shift and see, it'll just select what I'm clicking on. See? So look, if I just wanted to move them up, I just selected them. Here's your back button, your best friend, right? Here's your undo. Okay, but let's select all of them with our square, which is also a rectangle. Okay, there we go. And let's hold Control up arrow and put them up higher. Because you know, if we put the first row of them up like that, we could get a second row in there. Because I might end up with a lot of pencils. So see, the first row is way up there. So check it out. If we did another row, we just do them lower down. So watch. Let's duplicate this whole row. So duplicate. Let's use the arrow keys to move it over a bit. See, like that? And this row, let's put way down by the bottom. See? Because now look, the tops of the pencils are going to be offset like that nicely. Isn't that cool? So let's go ahead and finish. I'm going to turn this back into non-transparent. So I hit T so we can kind of see what's happening. Okay, there we go. Here's our first. The first thing we want to add to our organizer is our pencils. So now we just have to select everything. So I'm going to just select the cutouts and the base. And when we group them with this button, Union Group, it's going to cut the holes. Ready? Boop. It'll take a little bit probably because it's so many of them, but there we go. Look. See how easy that is, guys? So basically, if you're a brand new user, just use solid shapes and cutout shapes to do stuff. So look, if we set this big old circle sphere, we sink it down in there, turn it to a hole, and group it, we're going to cut a big old hole in there. that we could fill full of coffee and get a straw. Let's see what it looks like. And don't worry. Oh my gosh, see? Isn't that beautiful? Hey, obviously that's not what we wanted, but look, you could just hit undo and no harm done. Here, let's just delete that. I was going to maybe make a little better shape. Like if I wanted to make rounded edges, see how this is very sharp edged on the side? I was kind of thinking about doing it a little different. Can we try something quick, please? Look, we could have started with a square. Because the square has an option. A lot of these shapes will have options with these slide bars over here. So you can change different stuff about them. So this one has this radius slide bar, which actually rounds the corners of the square. See that? And then cube, I mean. And then the steps will make it even smoother, see? So technically we could tip this. We could tip this and slap it down in here like this. We could use this as our to do the same thing pretty much. Here, let me show you what I mean. Do I want it that much angle? Maybe I do. So watch, see, I'm just putting it, I'm picturing just the part that's sticking above the bed. Because see, we can cut the rest off. Ooh, I do like that. So watch this. See, I'm just looking at the red part that's sticking above the bed because we're going to cut the rest off. So watch this. Where's my mouse pad? There, I got it. Okay, so let's grab one of these cutouts boxes. Okay, let's set it down and stretch it so it's covering the whole dang thing like this. Okay, now watch. If we want to cut that whole bottom off, just grab this middle white square here that you can use to stretch it up. See, you can stretch these squares up and down, and we're just going to pull it down until, see, the part that's inside that's going to be cut off turns dark like that. So watch. If it's all the way down like that, then we're going to cut that whole bottom off, see? We're going to keep this very simple today. Okay, so we'll just select both of these objects now and hit our union group. Boop. There we go. Oh, no. I accidentally had some sticking out. I didn't see that. That's okay. Watch this. We'll just go back, and we just make this a little wider. See, we can stretch this. See, no harm done. Group. Look at how easy that is, guys. And we could stretch this. So see, with these middle little black squares, you can stretch it. We're going to need it a little wider because watch what we're going to do. We're going to cheat. I like this one, but you know what? Both these colors are awful. I like looking at more of a blue like this. See, we're just going to make a little more pleasing to the eye version of this first one because this one's got the curves and it's, you know, doesn't that look nicer? So watch, we could cheat. We're just going to we're going to hit ungroup on our first model we were working on. See this button here? And we're going to see, we got our pencils back. I'm just going to select them and we're going to slide them over. See, we're going to use them over here. In this case, I'm just going to eyeball the middle. I don't want to get too... You can align stuff, but let's just keep it real simple today. I'm going to kind of eyeball it here. Can we put them... Should I put them way back so I'm making use of my life? Maybe not that far back. How about starting to be on the tilt so I can see it? Yeah. Okay, I like that. Okay, are we ready to cut? Or group them? So let's select everything. And group. And drink coffee. Oh, I'm still going to drink coffee. Okay, and see what I mean by how much kind of, you know, that just looks nice. But if you like this sharp angles, that would have been fine too. And see, we could have just, what I would have done if we would have kept this one, I would have just cut the back off like this or something. You know, we could have just, see, We could have snipped off the back and made, you know, that's a cool shape too, but I want mine rounded, so. Okay, I have some other little tools that I need to put in. So let's see. Actually, there's all kinds of stuff. I won't even make you, maybe I'll do a little time lapse because I need to measure all my stuff. But basically, whatever you have that you want to fit in there, like let's say you had, or let's say you just wanted some little pockets or containers in there. Make sure you don't cut all the way through. So let's raise this up. We'll just go 3 millimeters up. That'll be fine. Yeah, let's just make some little pockets in here. Let's see what this would look like. See, you could have rolls of tape in here. Oh, that's another thing we could do. So basically, whatever objects you want to put in there, whether you're organizing nuts and bolts or lipstick or nail polish or, you know, in this case, pencils or office supplies, basically just make the shape and then cut it in there. So look, we could do maybe 2 of these. This is probably not going to be what I do for my keeper one, but let's group them. And see, we're going to have 2 nice, really deep cuts for storing stuff. This we would want, oh, I don't know. You get what I mean, though? Here, maybe we'll go back. I was just thinking some people have labels, and let's get rid of, well, I might need some of these, so I'm going to save them. Let's say you had rolls of labels or stickers or tape. We could just use, well, we could just use one of these. Watch, we'll flip it. Make it bigger, however big your rolls of tape are. And make it a little bit bigger, though, you know. I'm just giving an example here. Make sure it's up off the ground a little bit. Let's say, let's say you had, labels would be cool. I could make one of these for my shipping. I ship lots of stuff, so I could do my thank you stickers and fragile. Just don't sink it in farther than the halfway point, or it might not fit in. So, okay, let's see if we're above the. We'll hit T. See, we're below the ground, so we can't be the ground. We're below the work plane, so we don't want to be that low. So see, you'd want to be at least there. All right, there we go. And let's say we had a narrower stickers. See, we could go like that. And we'll group it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. It would almost work. That would work like a dispenser even, because see, it would just be spinning in there if you pulled out the stickers. I think. Maybe. We could have even put it back a little farther, and we could have put it deeper, you know? So you can always change stuff. So here, let's do that. Let's go, let's put these, let's slide these back a little bit. That'll make them a little deeper in there. This is fun. Okay, and we'll just group it. Let me get these ready. We got to do something with these. Let's make some little pockets. Now I'm just kind of messing around here. Like I said, I have to measure all my stuff, and I'm not sure what I'm all going to put in it. But, oops, look, we put it a little too far back. We cut through to our pencil holders. Okay, no problem. See, isn't this fun? You just can change it that easily. Okay, and these, can we change the radius on these? Ooh, we can make these kind of more rounded. Here, let's delete this one. Okay, I think we should sink these little puppies in. Okay, I'm going to hit D. If you want to drop something to the floor, hit D. And then I'm going to go up 3 millimeters. So it matches some of our other stuff. So yeah, we're 3 millimeters up right now. Let's hit duplicate. Slide it over. Right there. And I'm going to keep hitting duplicate. All right. Obviously that we can't fit another one. So let's just select these and slide them over so they're in the middle. Okay. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? All right, let's do it. Now I'm just making a different one. Like, actually, I don't know. This would be pretty useful to me. Okay, let's group it. Look at that. Oh, look at all these nice little containers for stuff. Oh, that's cool. Okay. And what else should we add? You know, you could just add some different size stuff. Here, let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's just do a little bit, a couple bigger cylinders. Like if you wanted to keep, you know, like scissors or something. Let's do two kind of big deals here. Actually, watch this. We'll do one big one. Okay, let's duplicate one. Here, we'll shrink it down. So I'm holding shift. Okay, it's a little too. Okay, let's do 2 of them over here. So yeah, I'm just making a random organizer now. This is awesome though. Duplicate, and so easy. We're doing the easiest. We're just doing the same thing over and over again. We're just cutting shapes into our main base. Beautiful. We love it. Okay, let's select everything and hit the group button. So yeah, first time user project? Absolutely. Look at this organizer. Are you guys more organized just by watching this? I like it. What else could we add? I kind of want, let's see. Let me drink a coffee and just think what shape we want for this last little part, you know? Yeah. Let me think. How about just some slots? Like if you had some kind of business cards or cards, or like, Post-it note, like pads or something, you know what I'm saying? So let's see if they fit here. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to raise up this shape 3 millimeters. So I'm going to hold control and hit up arrow 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, position it about where we like it. There we go. And now hit duplicate, slide it over. Can we fit 3 of them, or is that going to be pushing it? Let's try. Oh, what if we got weird? Nah, we don't want to get weird. I feel like we could have. Here, let's select both of them and stretch it so they're wider. There. Okay, we need something for the front here, though. What do you guys think? How about just... I wonder if I'm going to have any... There might be like shorter little round things. Here, let's just add a couple. Okay, 3 millimeters up. Let's just add a couple more shorties here. Like a little cylinder holes, I mean. Let's do 3. So duplicate, slide it over, and hit duplicate again. There we go, guys. I think we're done. Let's select everything. And union group. You know what's so cool too? For a beginner project, this is like the easiest thing to print possible. Like there's no overhangs. You're going to have no bed adhesion problems because it's got the big flat bottom. Look at that. Isn't that cool? We're done. Guys, let's see how long I've been recording. Should we do one more thing? Let's do one more thing, guys, because I don't want to stop. This is basically done. I got to adjust it a little bit for my art, but mine's going to be something like that. But I just wanted to flow through the video quickly without me measuring all my stuff, you know? Guys, we could do that same process, right? But use the new Revolve sketch tool. Watch this. Set this pupper down. Look at this. We could make a cylindrical organizer. Watch this. Like I know what I'm doing. Watch and learn. We could add a spinny handle even. Watch this. Okay. We got to finish the... So look, I'm just clicking and making lines. This is not really a tutorial for this, but just watch this quick. I'm going to double click some of these points and turn them into curves. There we go. This one. Perfect. And let's hit finish sketch. Look it. We just made a turntable one. Is it too flat? Yes, it is. So stretch it up. See what I mean? Look at this. We actually did a video where we made a turntable organizer though. But see, you could make a shape with the sketch tool like that. And watch, if you had a whole bunch of, let's say you had a bunch of lipsticks. No, not lipsticks, nail polish. Is this what nail polish looks like? Oops, first mess it up, hit the back button. Okay, watch this. I'm going to stack, pretend this is, okay, it's kind of small. Pretend this is nail polish right here, okay? I'm going to raise it up 3 millimeters. 1, 2, 3. And this time I do have to align it. So watch, I'm going to select both of the items. And then we're going to hit this button here, align. It's going to be your best friend, but I wanted to keep it simple. So I hit the align tool and then hit one of this black dot here. See, it'll align them on this axis right here. So you can align them on this axis or this, but we want to align them right here. See? Boop. And now we can duplicate and slide one over because we're going to put these all the way around it. Okay, let's see. Is that about the same? We're going to keep it easy. So now watch this. I selected both of the cutouts, right? Now hit duplicate. Dang it. Hold on. I should have clicked off first. Okay. So click away from them and now select both of them. Hit duplicate. And we're going to spin them a little bit. We're going to stay in the blue circle. Oh, if we could have... Oh, that would have been better if we could have... Because these are going to be pretty far apart now. See? I know what we should do. Let's delete these. I'm going to make this a little smaller, actually. Okay, let's slide it over. Because I want more of them to fit on there, I think. Sure, that's fine. Okay, let's try again. So I'm going to first click off and then select both of them. Duplicate. And see, now we can just do one little click. See right here? Because when we use that easy snap grading like that by staying in the blue circle, they're going to perfectly fit. Watch. When it gets all the way around, they're going to be perfectly aligned. See? Look at that. Yeah. Look at how many. You can have a lot of stuff. Hey, you know what? This bottom row could be the nail polish. The top row could be lipstick. I'm smart. Let's do that quick. Group. See, that was only like 5 extra minutes and we made a completely different one. This is pretty sweet too. We did a video making one of these, but we didn't have this revolve sketch tool. Look at that. Beautiful. And oh my gosh, we got to do one more thing. Don't yell at me if the video's too long. See, you can add a little tray so it spins on it. Watch this. This is what I did in the other video. It was cool. Boop, boop. See, we made a little tray for it to sit in so it could spin. You could even put some BBs. I think we might have even added BBs or something. I kind of forgot. Okay. So let's make a little tray here quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we have a deal that's about the right size. I'm going to align it. Now we have to cut down into the orange so our organizer can slip down in there, you know? So watch this. Let's just duplicate the orange part. I'm going to raise it up so we can see what's happening. We'll turn it into a hole. See? And now watch. I'm going to hold Shift and Alt, and we're going to shrink it down a little tiny bit. That'll keep it lined up and to scale. So let's just shrink it down a littlest bit. And let's drop it down in. Okay, so see, we shrunk it too much. So let's make it a little bigger. We might have to make our movement smaller. See right here, I didn't tell you guys, but we're using 1 millimeter movements. Let's turn this down to 0.1. Now our movements are smaller. I just didn't want to get too confusing. There we go. And now, how deep do we want to cut into this puppy? So I'm lowering the cutout down. See, now it's cutting all the way through. So let's raise it up a little bit. There, that'll be fine. Okay, watch. Now I'm going to group the orange and the cutout together. And we just made a tray. See? Let's turn it, we can turn these blue also. I like the blue. So let's get our tray. Let's hit D to drop it. See, that'll bring it up on the work plane. See? And now if you printed these out separately, here, let me align them and see if it fits. There. Now you got a little spinny tray. Oops, why did I move it? Let's see if it fits. Yeah, it fits, see? Now you got a little spinny spin tray. I think we even added BBs, little dents, and I put metal BB in afterwards, and it made it like a roller, you know? That is so cool. Okay, guys, that's probably enough. I don't want to make a beginner video thing too long. But, dude, everybody could use an organizer. And it's probably one of the easiest things to do in Tinkercad. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to kind of work on mine and get it printed out. But it'll take me a little while measuring all my stuff. So, all right, we'll see you guys on the next one. You guys can live in with the lipstick.